welcome to Sir C. Reddy College of Engineering Online Education. So in the last class, we have done some problems in the case 1, means economical load dispatch without considering the losses, or you can say by neglecting the losses. Now in this class, we are going to solve some problems in the case 2 problems, means ELD with losses, means economical load dispatch by considering the losses. So in this class, we'll see, or we will do very basic problems in the case 2 problems. And the tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we will take a university examination point of view and similarly previous PSU's questions. But try to understand how to solve these problems, because there is a very slight difference is there between case 1 and case 2. So already we have seen in terms of derivation. Similarly here also same thing, only very small difference is there. So let's take a first problem. So all of you look at this problem. And already I have given some instructions why you are solving any problem. That is, first step is we need to understand the problem. So once you understand the problem, then write the given data. So after that, by observing the given data, write the corresponding formula. So once formula is written, then go for substitution. So after that, finally, write the answer with the units. Why I'm saying like this is, when you are considering the university examinations, especially valuation, we used to allot some marks for given data, some marks for substitution, some marks for formula, and some marks for answer with the units. So that's why please follow the given steps. Okay, so let's try to understand this problem. A given alternator operating in economic operation mode, the IFC is given by 0.002 P plus 18 rupees per megawatt hour. Then the incremental power loss is given by dou PL by dou P is equals to 0.2. And the Lagrangian multiplier of an alternator is 25. And we need to find out the power generation of an alternator in megawatts. Means these three are nothing but given data. That is, first one is incremental fuel cost. Then second one is dou PL by dou P. It is nothing but the incremental power loss. This is very, very important representation. In the coming classes also, we must use this representation. That is, how we can represent incremental power loss is dou PL by dou P. And Lagrangian multiplier is nothing but lambda. It is equals to 25. And the last, we need to find out power generation of an alternator. So first, let's see the given data. So this is a given data in this problem, that is IC and dou PL by dou P and lambda value. By using these, what formula we can use is, it is nothing but a generalized condition when we are considering the losses. That is, L1 into df1 by dp1 is equals to L2 into df2 by dp2 is equals to L3 into df3 by dp3 and up to so on is equals to lambda. This is nothing but a generalized condition in case 2 when we are considering the losses. So what is the difference between case 1 and case 2 is, when you are considering the losses, we need to consider a penalty factor also. So this is the only one difference between case 1 and case 2. So here we are taking only one power plant. So that's why I am representing by taking only one unit in generalized form. That is L into dF by dP is equals to lambda. And what is the formula for L? Here L is nothing but penalty factor. How we can write the formula for L is 1 by 1 minus dou PL by dou P. So here dou PL by dou P is nothing but incremental power loss with respect to the generating capacity. So from the given data we know dou PL by dou P, it is nothing but 0.2. So once you substitute 0.2, easily we can find out L value. So once you know the L value, we know the lambda value also, and substitute dF by dP, then find out P value. So substitute each and everything and tell me the answer for P. Type your answer in chat box quickly, because this is a very simple problem. So let's go for a substitution. Then give the answer for P. Very good. Roll number 36 is giving that answer for P. Similarly, A5 is also giving the response. Very good. Most of the people are giving the response. So let's see the final answer. That is 1000 megawatt. So everybody check your answers whether you got the correct answer or not. So this is a very simple problem. Then let's go for a second one. So all of you look at this problem. Read the problem, then understand the problem. What parameters are given in the problem, and from those parameters, what parameter we need to find out. So we'll see this one. In a two-plant system, a penalty factor of plant 2 is 1.25 and incremental fuel cost of the corresponding plant is 400 rupees per megawatt hour. So these two are nothing but a given data, that is penalty factor. How we can represent penalty factor of plant 2, that is with respect to L2. And incremental fuel cost of the plant is 400 rupees per megawatt hour. And what they're asking cost received by plant 1 is. So what is by cost received? So already we have done the same problem in case 1 problems. What is the meaning of cost received by plant? That is nothing but lambda value. Means by using these 2 points, we need to find out lambda value. So let's see how to get the lambda value. So first write the given data. What is the given data? IC2 at the same time L2 value. So by using IC2 and L2 value, we must find out lambda value. So how to find out lambda value? By using the same condition. That is L1 into dF1 by dP1 is equals to L2 into dF2 by dP2 is equals to up to so on is equals to lambda value. But here we are considering IC2 and L2 corresponding to second power plant. So that's why consider L2 into dF2 by dP2 is equals to lambda. And we know how to write L2 value. But here, no need to use this formula, because if you observe the given data, we can get directly L2 value from the given data. And similarly, dF2 by dP2 is nothing but incremental cost curve. So that value is also we can get from the given data directly. So substitute these two and tell me lambda value. This is nothing but a simple substitution. Find out lambda value. So very good. B6 is giving that 400. And similarly, A6, roll number A6 is also giving that 500. Very good. So this is very simple. Let's see the answer. That is lambda is equals to 500 rupees per megawatt hour. So once again, I am repeating that units are very, very important. Okay. So this is also very simple problem. Let's go for one more problem. So all of you look at this problem. So the last coefficients of two bus system are B11, B22, B12 and B21. Calculate the loss which are included in the system for a given generation schedule of P1 is equals to 150 megawatt and P2 is equals to 100 megawatt. Means here they have given loss coefficients and they have given P1 value and P2 value. What we need to find out is loss power. So already we have done one derivation of power loss in terms of loss coefficients and in terms of real power generations. So by using that formula, we have to find out PL. But here, how many units they are considering? Only two bus system they are considering. So when we are considering K equals to 2, how many loss coefficients we will get here? 4 loss coefficients. That means B11, B22 and similarly B12 and B21. So here by using these two loss coefficients and these two P1 and P2, we need to find out loss power. So first we will see the given data. Given data is nothing but loss coefficients and P1 and P2. So we need to find out loss power. What is the generalized formula for loss power? This is nothing but a generalized formula for loss expression in terms of real power at the same time loss coefficients. Here sigma m equals to 1 to k, sigma n equals to 1 to k, Pm, Bmn, Pn, where k represents how many systems, whether it may be units or thermal power plants are present in our system. For example, when you are considering k equals to 2, means whether we are considering 2 units or whether we are considering 2 thermal systems. That means here k. For example, in this, how many units we are considering? Here we are considering only 2 units. So that's why here we can represent sigma m equals to 1 to 2, sigma n equals to 1 to 2, Pm, Bmn, Pn. Try to expand this expression. Then we will get PL is equals to B11 P1 square plus B22 P2 square plus 2 into B12 P1 P2. So once if you observe the PL expression, we know each and everything. We know B11, similarly P1, we know B22 P2 value, B12 value and P1 P2 also known from the given data. So that's why we know each and everything. So try to substitute all the values and tell me the value of PL in our chart box. Do it quickly. Very good. A9 is giving the response. Similarly, B7 is also giving the response. Very good. And the remaining people also, please use your calculus because we are solving the most important problems. Definitely you will get these type of problems in your final end examination for 7 marks or 8 marks. Because when you consider the end examination, first question is nothing but theoretical question and the second one is problematic. So that's why we have to use pen, book and calculator. And already I told you that this is just like a physical classroom, but the only difference is there is no visibility between you and myself. Everything is same. And for the interaction point of view, we have chat box. Very good. So many people are giving the response in our chat box. So let's see the answer. This is nothing but our substitution. So finally we'll get 18.5 megawatt. So this is nothing but final answer. All of you check your answers, whether it is right or wrong. Okay. So we'll consider one more problem. So all of you look at this problem. And along with this 15th, we will do one more problem in this class. These two are very, very important because already I have covered these two problems in theoretical concepts by taking special case 1 and special case 2. Means, especially in these two problems, we'll have two power plants, but the load is very near to only one power plant. Then how we can solve the problem? In the 15th one, the load is very near to the power plant 1. In the coming 16th one, we will consider the load is very near to the power plant 2. So in such cases, how can solve these problems we will see. Because these two types of problems are very, very important. So that's why I have given these two problems as special cases in our theoretical concepts. So all of you look at this problem and read the problem. Two power plants interconnected by a line as shown in the figure. So here two power plants are there. Those are nothing but P1 and P2. And they have given loss coefficient is B22 is equals to 0.001 megawatt inverse. This is very, very important because the unit for loss coefficient is megawatt inverse. This is one of the previous PSU examination. What is the unit for loss coefficient? Simply we can say megawatt inverse. And power being dispatches economically with plant 1 as 125 megawatt and plant 2 as 100 megawatt. And we need to find out penalty factors for plant 1 and plant 2. So here, when you are considering these two types of problems, we are considering load which is near to either power plant 1 or power plant 2. So in this case, automatically one of the power plant penalty factor should become 1 because there is no transmission line. So once there is no transmission line means there is no incremental power loss with respect to the real power generation. So automatically one of the penalty factor must become 1. Okay, we need to find out a remaining penalty factor. And similarly, one more important point in the given is power being dispatches economically from plant 1 as 125 megawatt and plant 2 as 100 megawatt. Means we need to utilize this point also while we are solving the problem. Okay, let's try to solve this problem. First, write the given data. What is the given data here? B22 coefficient and P1 is equals to 125 megawatt and P2 is equals to 100 megawatt. So by using the given data, we need to find out L1 and L2. So here L1 is nothing but penalty factor of power plant 1. L2 is nothing but penalty factor of plant 2. And coming to this diagram, what we can understand here it is, two power plants are there. Those are nothing but P1 and P2. But we are connecting this load to only near to the power plant 1. When you are doing like this, there is no necessity of transmission line in between power plant 1 to load. So once there is no transmission line, there is no loss. Once there is no loss, then automatically the penalty factor should become 1. Means when you are considering the power plant 1, the penalty factor for power plant 1 should become 1. So we need to find out the penalty factor for power plant 2 only. Okay, so we'll see those terms. So what is the basic formula for penalty factor? It is given by L1 is equals to 1 by 1 minus dou PL by dou P1 and L2 is equals to 1 by 1 minus dou PL by dou P2. Here PL is nothing but loss expression and P1 and P2 are nothing but real power generation of power plant 1 and power plant 2. Then let's go for formula for loss expression. Here PL is nothing but B11 P1 square plus B22 P2 square plus 2 into B12 into P1 P2. Because when you observe this formula, B11 should become 0. Similarly, B12 should become 0. Because when you are connecting load to a power plant 1, there is no transmission line. So there is no loss coefficients from power plant 1 to that particular load. So B1 loss coefficient should become 0. Not only coefficient 1 becomes 0, whatever the coefficients which are depends upon the coefficient 1, those are also become 0. So that's why here B11 value is 0. Similarly, B12 value is also 0. And the remaining formula is PL is equals to B22 P2 square. So from the given data, we know B22 value, and similarly, we know P2 values. So substitute those things, you will get PL value. Tell me PL value. I will give you some time, find out PL value. Substitute B22 value and P2 value. Very good, 18 series, so 237 is giving the response. Similarly, a few more members are giving the response. So we'll see the actual answer. So when you do the, how to get the L1 and L2, we need to do the derivative of PL with respect to P1. Once you consider the dou PL by dou P1, this PL is completely independent of P1. So that's why when you do the derivative of PL with respect to P1, it becomes 0. When you substitute this value in L1, you will get L1 value is 1. Similarly, when you go for dou PL by dou P2, do the derivative of PL with respect to P2, then you will get 2 into B22 into P2. We know B22 value, we know P2 value. So easily you can get dou PL by dou P2. So once you get it, substitute here, then you will get L2 value. Okay. So 0.2 is nothing but final answer for dou PL by dou P2. Substitute these two in L1 and L2. So finally we will get L1 value is 1 and L2 value is 1.25. So this is the solution for the given problem. So very simple. So how many formulas are there? Basically we need to find out, we need to have some basic fundamental condition, that is L1 into dF1 by dP1 is equals to L2 into dF2 by dP2 is equals to lambda. That is a basic condition. And how we can write L1 and L2 formulas? Similarly, we have to know what is the expression for PL. So once you know these three formulas, easily you can solve any type of problem in case 2. Okay. Then let's move to one more problem, last one. All of you look at this problem. This is also similar to a previous problem, but the only difference is in terms of given data. So let's try to understand this problem. The system consisting of two plants connected by a transmission line, and the load is located at plant 2. In the previous problem, load is located at plant 1, but here load is located at plant 2. And when a 100 megawatt is transmitted from plant 1, a loss of 10 megawatt takes place in the line. So this is nothing but our transmission. What they are saying, in this case, when 100 megawatt is transmitting from power plant 1 to this PD2, then in this transmission line, 10 megawatt loss is occurred in this transmission. Similarly, one more given data is lambda is equals to 25 rupees per megawatt. And they have given IC1 and IC2 for the corresponding two plants. What they are asking? They are asking determine the generation schedule. Means we need to find out here P1 at the same time P2. Okay, everything is almost same, but how we can solve this type of problem when compared to the previous problem? Okay, answer is almost approach is same, but the difference is how we can utilize the given data. That is different. So let's try to solve this problem. First, write the given data. That is IC1 and IC2. Similarly, one more important point is there, that is when a 100 megawatt is transmitted from plant 1, a loss of 10 megawatt is occurred in the transmission line. This is very important. Similarly, we'll have lambda is equals to 25 rupees per megawatt hour. So how we can solve this type of problem? Let's look at the solution. So we need to find out P1, P2. So before going to find out P1, P2, we must find out L1 and L2. Already we know the formulas for L1 and L2. What are the formulas for L1 and L2? These are nothing but L1 and L2 formulas. L1 is given by 1 by 1 minus dou PL by dou P1. Similarly, L2 is 1 by 1 minus dou PL by dou P2. But here, how to find L1 and L2? We must write here PL value. So what is the expression for PL? PL is nothing but B11 P1 square plus B22 P2 square plus 2 into B12 into P1 P2. Here B22 should become 0. Similarly, B12 should become 0 because the load is very near to the power plant 2. So that's why whatever the coefficients which are belongs to the second power plant always become 0. So B22 and B12 should become 0 and the remaining last coefficient is only B11 only. So and the final expression is PL is equals to B11 into P1 square. So then again go for dou PL by dou P1 and dou PL by dou P2. Then you will get dou PL by dou P1 is equals to, try to get the derivative with respect to P1. Then you will get 2 into B11 into P1. That is for power plant 1. Similarly, when you do the derivative with respect to the P2, it is completely independent of P2. So that's why you will get here 0. So once you substitute dou PL by dou P2 in L2, then you will get L2 value is 1. Okay, so L2 value is 1. Then here the most important point we need to understand in this problem is, we don't know where the value of B11. From the given data, observe the given data. Here we don't know the value of B11, but how to get dou PL by dou P1? That is the difference between this problem and the previous problem. But still, we can find out the value of dou PL by dou P1 by using the given data. So what is the given data here? One more given data, that is when a 100 megawatt is transmitted from plant 1, a loss of 10 megawatt is occurred in the transmission line. This is very, very important given data. By using this point, we can understand how to get the answer for dou PL by dou P1. Already I told you that in the previous problem, what is the meaning of dou PL by dou P1? Dou PL by dou P1 is nothing but represents, this is nothing but incremental power loss with respect to the generating capacity. So here directly you can consider PL is nothing but 10 megawatt loss and P1 is nothing but 100 megawatt. Because from the given data, how we can find out dou PL by dou P1? That is very, very important. For example, when you know the B11 value in the given data, directly you can substitute that B11 value. But here we don't know the B11 value. So that's why we are using this data in order to find out dou PL by dou P1. So how we can get the dou PL by dou P1 is, directly you can substitute that 10 megawatt and 100 megawatt. Then you will get 0.1. Okay, then substitute the dou PL by dou P1 in L1, then you will get L1 value. Means finally you will get L1 and L2 value. This is nothing but your half of the solution of this problem. So once you know the L1 and L2, by using that L1 and L2, we have to find out P1 and P2. So how you can find out P1 and P2? By using again a basic condition, that is L1 into df1 by dp1 is equals to L2 into df2 by dp2 and up to so on is equals to lambda. Here, how many power plants we are taking? Only we are taking 2 power plants. So that's why we'll consider L1 into df1 by dp1 is equals to L2 into df2 by dp2 equal to lambda. We know L1 value, we know L2 value, and we know lambda value from the given data, and we know incremental cost of power plant 1 and power plant 2. So substitute each and everything, then find out P1 and P2. Tell me your answers in our chat box. Do it quickly because we are running out of time. Do it quickly. Tell me answers for P1 and P2. So with this, I will conclude the today class. Tomorrow also we will solve some more problems based on the case 2 problems only. Very good. A7 is giving that response. P2 is equals to 193.3 megawatt, and P1 is equals to 2300 megawatt. Then A5 is giving that P1 is equals to 1800 megawatt. So there is a mismatch in between your answers. Please, all of you, try to solve the problem. Then drop your answers in our chat box, P1 and P2. What are the answers for P1 and P2? So 18 series 238 is giving the response of P2 is equals to 193 megawatt. P1 is nothing but some around 1800 megawatts. So let's see the answers. So this is the final answer for this solution. P1 is equals to 1815.3 megawatt and P2 is equals to 193.75 megawatt. All of you re-verify your answers, whether your answer is correct or wrong. Okay, so with this, I will wind up this session. If you have any doubts regarding this class, you can drop your doubts in our chat box. Okay, thank you very much.